Guys, I am cracking up at myself. Do you realize what I just did? I just did my introduction, but I forgot to hit go live. And I was talking after my introduction. I did the full introduction. I was talking for 3 minutes. And before I realized, I was like, why does it keep saying go live? I was not live at all. So, Nita, I must have said hi to you like 3 times. Hi, Nita. Hi. Hi, Joe Mouse. Hi, Joe, my sweet Joe. Hello, beautiful. Hello. Oh my God, Lisette with the good hair. Yeah, you know, ta-da, human after all. I apologize if I keep adjusting my pajama top. By the way, I'm still literally. It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon here. I'm still in my pajamas. Lisa, hi. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. So here's what happened. So I had an auction. I was part of the auction for Cajun Roots Reseller on Wednesday. Now I had my mother for a couple of days, and she's getting a little older, so a little more care is required. And she's my mother, so no hard feelings there. And she's lovely. But it was very time consuming. So I turned off my Poshmark closet for a few days, just to sort of let things happen. And then what happened was, then I had Johnny's auction on Wednesday, Johnny's Hump Day auction on his channel, Cajun Roots Reseller, which was fantastic. What a lovely invitation, and what a sweet thing for him to let me be a part of that and sell my goods. So I had my auction list, prepped and ready to go. But I did actually usually I have my youngest granddaughter one day a week, and she's an infant. Now she's a crawler, and she's fast. So normally I have her one day a week. Her mom asked if I could take her for a little while on Thursday, and I was very, very happy to do so. She is lovely. She's my baby. And she is she's smiling now and like belly laughing, and she's just gorgeous. So no questions asked. Family first for me. Y'all know this. Hi, Denise. Hi, it's good to see you. So I had kind of an overwhelming schedule this week. And then yesterday I had her all day, and I also found out that I had 2 sales on Poshmark. I hadn't even shared my closets, and it turned itself back on. I literally had been ignoring it because there was just too much to do. And my home, I forgot to vacuum and my dogs are shedding right now. So you don't vacuum for 3 days, and you have 2 very large dogs that are both in shedding process. A, they're running around looking like they have mange. It's awful. I haven't even combed them yet. And B, there are giant hairballs like floating all over my hardwood floors. So it was just ridiculous. My bathroom hadn't been bleached for a week. I just had so much to do. Everything was just stacked up. And sometimes in the face of that, and then last night, like yesterday afternoon, after my daughter-in-law picked up my Glam baby, we spent a little time together, and she's beautiful. So after that, I was so exhausted because, at my age, babies are a little exhausting. Frankly, at 20, babies are exhausting. But at my age, they're super exhausting. So we did watch a lot of The Crown, though. She likes Queen Elizabeth, or God rest her soul. Anyway, so my point is that my husband calls like an hour after I lay down for a nap, and he's like, "Hey, are we still having date night tonight?" And I'm like, "Oh crap, we have date night." So I'm like, give me another hour to nap. I just need to sort of, decompress and let everything go. Then we went out. We went out to dinner, and then we went to meet some friends at a pub, and then we went out gambling, and we didn't get home until really late. We slept until 1 o'clock this afternoon because we didn't get home until really late. I love a good casino night. And yes, I did win. Not a lot, but it's a win if you walk away with any of their money. So casino night and everything was happening this week, one right after the other, and I couldn't keep up. Couldn't keep up. So I had to sort of let everything go until this afternoon. And I woke up this afternoon with a sick feeling in the pit of my stomach because I need to photograph. I need to list. I really need to source. I've got auctions coming up that I have particular sourcing needs for. I also have Posh Live, my second Posh Live show on Monday that I have to prepare for. I also have my Sunday lives, my brunch. In addition, when you sell on live auctions on YouTube, and most of you probably already know this, you've done it. But if you haven't before, if you're newer at reselling, or if this might be your first auction, after you sell on the auction, here's what you got to do. First, I always go back through the tape of the auction and check the live chat against the tape, and check that against whatever notes I have for who bought what and what they paid and what the final bid was. And sometimes many people will buy like different lots and things like that. So I have to scoop everything sort of together. And then before I can even process the things, and I do like to wash and freshen and sanitize everything before I send it out. But before I do that, I pre-package it because I need to know what that shipping cost is going to be when I invoice them. So I pre-package everything and then get it into all of its little piles. And then after that, I have to measure all of those piles, all of those, boxes and bags, and weigh them. And then write all of that down. And then I come in and I go into pirate ship, and then I figure out what their shipping's going to be, and I send them. And like I said, you guys probably already know this process. But for the newbies, I send them an invoice based on that shipping. And then once the invoice comes in and it's paid, then I go back into pirate ship and I ship out the items. But before I do that, I take the items back out of the boxes and the bags, and keep them in their own little piles. But I do like for clothing, I launder it. For anything that's new with tags, it gets sanitized and freshened. I like to send out I like to put my best foot forward when possible. In addition to that, I have 2 Poshmark orders that I have to pull and make sure that they are fresh, because again, these things will sit in your closet, and even if they're packaged, they can sit in your closet for a year. They can still sort of get I don't know, that sort of, they just get stale, and I like to send things out that are fresh. So I've got 2 Poshmark orders to pull out, a purse and a something else. I forget what it was, a purse and a blouse. And those have to be, washed, steamed, fresh, and sanitized, everything like that. In addition to that, I have 2 dogs that are shedding enormously. I have really large dogs, and they're very hairy. And they are both shedding by the handful. Like you could just grab a handful of hair and pull it off of them. It's that bad. And of course, because of my busy week, I haven't had a chance to take them outside and brush them and get most of that hair off. I've got giant hairballs like floating around my house, and I've got hardwood floors, and it's all over the place. And I haven't had a chance to bleach my bathroom in 7 days, and it's starting to ook me out. And so on and so on and so forth. The trash has to be taken out. It's not going to take itself out. And the dishes have to be washed. They're not going to wash themselves. And dinner has to be cooked because my husband can't cook a sandwich, and that sort of thing. So it's just one of those things where you can get so in the weeds that you just don't know how to proceed forward. And it looks like this huge wall of to do, right? There's so much to do, and you're like, my God, there's no way I'm going to be able to tackle all of this. And the thing is that from what I understand, and it's been my personal experience as well, that there's really only one way to eat an elephant, and that is one bite at a time. So today I am taking small bites, and yes, I am going to be probably all day in my pajamas and look like leftover last night's sandwich. But today I'm going to take it in small bites. I've actually got like little notes that says bill for auction and package for auction and freshen for auction and ship Poshmark orders. There's the clean auction for freshen and so on and so forth. And the vacuuming, for some reason, I managed to accomplish that this morning, first thing in the morning. By the way, if I haven't said hi to somebody, StreamYard's doing that thing again where it just stops, like showing me the comments. Like I get like the first 8 comments and then bada bing, it's done. It's very strange. And it's been doing it. It is the second time it's done it. So I apologize if I'm behind in the comments, but hello to anybody who has come in. Just know that you have my love and I will be checking later and much, much gratitude. So all of that being said, all of it. That's not even half of it. I still haven't grocery shopped either. So all of that being said, I have to break it down into pieces. If I don't, I'm going to get so far behind in the weeds that I'm just going to it'll get depressing and frustrating, and mentally it'll be really gnarly for me. So as resellers, I think the best advice that I can give you, if you are not already doing it, is to break it down into small pieces. Do one thing. I said, okay, I've got a beautiful, beautiful member of my chat. She's absolutely a lovely person. I just adore her, and she reached out to me about one of the necklaces that came in my ThreadUp Fun Box. There was a silver necklace that's very pretty, and she asked me to measure it, which is a very smart thing to do because, depends on, the size of the necklace is going to determine whether or not, you want it. So, it took me literally 3 days just to take out a tape measure and measure this necklace, because I was so busy. I was so busy with, family and friends and business and so much. So I finally did that today, and I thought, okay, let's start with one little step, because I was up and I had my little iced coffee. The glass looks milky because I put milk in it. It's pretty delicious though, and it's way cheaper than Starbucks. So I started with that. I'm like, okay, let's do this one thing. And then I went into the other room and I looked at my auction list and I said, okay, let's just do one. And I started with one, and then I did 2. And then I did 3, and then I did 4. So I'm up to 4 of the auction sales that are weighed and measured and that are sorted into their categories, and sorted by who bought it. So I've already accomplished that just by taking the pressure off and just by going, you know what, one thing at a time. So I feel good about that. And I think that's the key to forward progress, is that you take it in small bites. Just eat that elephant one bite at a time. So my next step is to take the things that I sold at the auction and open them back up and make sure that everything is cleaned and freshened, which means that any of the clothing I would put into the wash, unless it's a hand wash, and then I would hand wash it, and hang that to dry. But so wash all the clothing, freshen up all the purses, all of the jewelry, make sure everything smells wonderful, make sure everything looks good, as best as I can get it, and do all of the things. So anyway, that's my next step. But I feel like I've got 3 days. Thank God for the long weekend. I've got 3 days where I can just sort of take my steps one step at a time and try not to get overwhelmed. For my mental health, and for just for general mental health, just for general happiness, it's important that I break these down. And then, when I start to feel sort of wound up, and I'm like, oh God, I need to blah 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 blah. I stop. I come in, I grab a drink of coffee, I take a few minutes break and just, watch something silly on YouTube or watch a TikTok dance or, one of the many, many things that you can do on your computer. Or reach out to my friends on Insta and be like, hey, what's up? How you doing? So there are things that you can do to take a break in between and take as many breaks as I need because I have something of ADHD, right? And it's, you get distracted. You get distracted, and you lose focus after a while of doing something repetitive. So I encourage you, if you're feeling in the weeds, if you're feeling overwhelmed, I strongly encourage you to grab a fork and grab a knife, and don't try to eat the whole elephant. Start at the tail and work your way back. I know that sounds bad. Well, let's start at the feet. We'll start at the feet or maybe the trunk. No, we don't eat elephants, but you get the point. Is that we can eat the whole pot roast one bite at a time. And I strongly encourage you just to break it down into smaller tasks and just promise yourself that you're just going to do one thing. Tonight, I'm going to take one photograph for Poshmark. I'm going to do one listing. One. That's it. Because, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step, or I don't know how that goes. You get it. You get it. You're all smart. You get it. Really, that's just my message this afternoon. But I thought it's a timely message, and usually, and especially for me, if I give you the message, it holds me accountable for the message. So I have to practice what I preach. My integrity has to be intact in that way. So therefore, this day and tomorrow and Monday, I'm going to be eating my elephant one bite at a time. You know what, Myra? I want pound cake too, and I don't think that's unreasonable at all. I would also like a donut, and I would like to go face down in a Snickers bar, but there's just maybe that'll be my treat for later, right? I can earn my pound cake by doing just one little thing, and you can have pound cake. That sounds about right. So anyway, that's my message for you, and I hope that you all are having a wonderful, wonderful Labor Day weekend. And we'll be talking more about Labor Day and the weekend and what's been going on in reselling tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Mountain, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, and 4 a.m. Hawaii, 4 p.m. Great Britain. And if you're in Australia, you're about, I think it was 14 hours ahead. So probably 11 p.m. in Australia. No, 2 a.m. Australia. hmm 2 a.m. down under. Sorry, it's done with love. Trust me, we're not making fun. We are seriously in love with Australia. Y'all are friendly like we are. We just love that. We love your unpretentious, gorgeous faces. You're absolutely beautiful to us. Although we're a little scared of all the things that could kill you there. But other than that, I mean, really, we love our Aussies, and thank you for hosting my son and being so lovely to him and his buddies that were over there during their service. Coffee and chocolate for dinner. That sounds great. Vacuuming while listening, double dipping. I love it. I love it. I do that a lot where I work and lurk because I need my people. I need my tribe. So I get that, Lisa. So no matter where you go or no matter what you do, just remember, take small bites. Uh, Try your very best just to break things down into little pieces. They're much more easily done that way, and you make a lot more progress in a lot less time, other than sitting and getting an ulcer, which is what usually how I start, and then I have to merge into the other part of it. So no matter what you're doing today, just remember, never ever forget, Glammaz loves you. Have a great afternoon.